Welcome back, everybody, and good morning once again. We're going to keep things moving right along here on this morning. Now, young Botham Jean, very, very talented St. Lucian, shining star, definitely making St. Lucia proud over in Texas, tragically lost his life. And I think by now everybody is very, very familiar with this story. Right now, we're going to take the time out just to remember him a bit as we speak to some people who worked closely with him and knew him as well. So this is in remembrance of Botham.
I am Nadia Asgil Simei, the Human Resource Manager for Harris Paints St. Lucia. When Botham came in, Botham was about 19 years old, so Harris Paints was his first job. He came into our accounts department in 2010. He was mainly responsible for the receivable sides, collecting payments and stuff. He stayed about a year. But then 3 consecutive summers, he came back from school to do internship with us, and he was amazing. He was amazing. If you speak to anyone around here, they will tell you he was amazing. Very polite. He was a gentleman. What else? What else can I say? I guess you've heard everything about him, but he was a very good young man.
Let me start by saying that it's very tough. Having known him so well, in such close interaction with him, it is very, very tough to deal with this. Mr. Jean Botham, as we call him, we used to call him Botham, was a very vivacious young man, and I think this is why it's so hard to deal with the situation, because he was an extraordinary person. He was a people's person, and he was always very, very respectful. It was always Miss Kathy, Miss Lewis. It was everybody on the job had that respect from him. I can recall him going out with us on community sales, where we go out into the community, And although he was in the accounts department, it was a sales event, and he was all into it, interacting with the various persons in the community. And, when everybody was burnt out and looking to come to an end of the day, he's like, come on, Miss Kathy, just a few more houses. We're almost down to the end of the road. And he'd have that energy and that drive, just to go a little bit more. I really remember that about him. But generally, he was really and truly an awesome young man.
Botham works in accounts, and the accounts was overseeing inventory. Words can't explain Botham. He was such a loving boy. He taught me so much. I learned so much from him. He would never come to my department and don't lift me up and said, hey, Miss Louis, how are you doing and stuff. I would say, wow, look at a damn good looking boy. And I would say, wow, look at the muscles. Miss Louis, don't kid around, I say, you look good for true. And I tell you, when Mr. Price told me that Botham passed away, I was standing, I fell. And I have not been okay, because my son is Botham's age. And I took him in as my son. And everything I do and I say, I would say, Mr. That's not the way, this is the way and stuff. He would correct me. He was like a teacher, a role model to me. So he's a young guy, but you're never too old to learn from him. Even if you're down, he would lift up your spirit and make you feel so good. You would tell me something, I would feel bad. He would tell me something, I would feel good. I would see it as, a correction, something to motivate me. And I don't know, my heart is so filled. I would miss his love, his attention, making me feel good and telling me, Miss Lou, you can do better. He was a motivator. And that's how I see him, as an always smiling, never vexed.
Well, for the short time I've known Botham, I met him when I came back from Teachers College. He was in Form 2, and I taught him Form 2 and Form 3. And then I worked with him in the Talfest production. He was very involved in Talfest, I must say. Singing, dancing, comedy, acting, you name it. Certain roles, if he couldn't do it, and so he would learn. And that's Botham for you. That's Botham for you. He would, if he cannot do something, he would learn, and he will try his best to help. This young man had so much potential, so much potential. We were probably kind of looking forward to what he had. He already proven some of what he can do, right? But he had the potential to do so much more.
It's really sad when you see stories like this, especially when you have a young, dynamic just so full of promise young man. And you know what the statistics are like nowadays with the young boys or the males on a whole. So he was a really great representation, not just for his family, not just for himself, but for us here in St. Lucia and the rest of the world by extension. So we here at DBS extend heartfelt condolences to the family, to the friends, and everybody who had the privilege of knowing Botham Jean. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, good morning St. Lucia. Are you excited? Because once again, we're going to wake up in the know. Right now, I want to welcome somebody who has been here with us before, so she is automatically family. So Shanna, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. Good morning, St. Lucia.
Super. Well, welcome again. And she is representing for the CYEN, that is the Caribbean Youth Environment Network. And she is a volunteer. And we want to let you know of something very important coming up. It is International Coastal Cleanup. So I'm excited about it. It's not the first time happening here. It's something that's international. So let's start off about this whole movement and what's happening globally with this.
Okay, CYN, like you said earlier, we are having International Coastal Cleanup this year. I think it has been going on for the past 10 years, thereabouts, and the whole initiative is to clean up the coastal line areas. And this year, it's about trash-free seas, okay? So we looking for volunteers. That's where the most volunteers come out throughout the Caribbean, throughout the world, to come out to help clean the coastal areas.
Now, with this, is this happening simultaneously? Because I know we have, if I'm not mistaken, 3 days going on in St. Lucia. So is it 3 days globally that this is taking place?
Well, it depends on your country and what you decide to do, because some persons will clean for the whole month of September, but normally International Coastal Cleanup is in September. So we're looking at 3 days in St. Lucia, the 14th, 15th, and the 16th. So the 14th, we will target in the schools children who will be coming out in the schools to clean up the beach closest to them. And the Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at the other beaches where other volunteers and organizations will come out to help us as well.
Great. Now, I know that you're also in charge with coordinating for a specific region, for the northern region. So let's focus on CYEN right now and what exactly is going to be happening and the dates as well. How's everything going to unfold?
Okay, so far we have 4 locations, north, south, east, and west. So for the north, we have Raidri Beach, which will be way down to the end by Rex Resort. We have Boseju Beach. We have Casaba. And we have Tapio. Tapio will be mainly for the school children on Friday. So we're looking to have, also Sandals is coming on board. So thank you, Sandals, for coming on board for Friday to help us clean up, and other organizations who have showed their interest. Example, Marcy Stores coming on board to help us clean as well. So these are the 4 locations up north. In Dennery, we have Fordo Beach, we have Soufriere, and we have Canaries, we have Vieux-Fort, Is it Sandy Beach? It's Sandy Beach and the beaches down there. About 4 locations in that area. Okay. So we have throughout the island, we have areas that will be cleaned up by members of CYN.
Now, I'm also very happy to see that it's spread out across the island and not just one specific area. So St. Lucia, this is our call to action to get out, come there, come volunteer. Now, I know there is a call to action for persons to come in and assist. So not just CYEN members, anybody who's interested can assist. So what is the process if we have persons who are willing to volunteer their time and be part of this?
Okay, so you can check out our Facebook page, Caribbean Youth Environment Network, St. Lucia chapter. And we have on our Instagram page where you'll see the different locations and the persons that you can contact. So for Dennery, we have Gail. For South, we have Shirin Saltibus. For West, we have Nadia Casaba. And for North, we have Shana Marius. So you can contact each one of us, and then we'll give you the information. And cleanup starts as early as 6:30 in the morning. So you can join us to whichever. If you're not available on Saturday, we have Sunday also as an option to clean.
Great. So this is definitely an important initiative. And I mean, with everything that you all do, dealing with the environment, dealing with conservation, etc., I just want to touch a little bit more and elaborate on the fact that I know the focus is on the coastline, but why mainly the coastline and the importance to us and the environment?
Okay, because of the coastline, we see that the sea levels are rising and climate change is happening, and it will affect us all in the long run, or whether we have seen it or not, although we have seen the effects of climate change already on the Caribbean. And as a small developing island state, it's important that we clean up our coastal areas and make it useful for our children, upcoming children and grandchildren to see. So we're calling out to everybody to come out and help preserve our environment and our coastal areas especially. And it's also important for our sea, our fishes, our turtles, all of these things in the seawater to help out and clean up our beaches.
At this point, I just want you to give them a reminder of the dates again that this is going to be taking place.
Okay, so International Coastal Cleanup is happening on the weekend. This is the 14th, 15th, and 16th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in the north, south, east, and west. And if you need to get any more information, you can contact me at 520-9017 for further information, or any of the other organizers for the region, for the divisions. So come out, help us, organization, clubs, groups, to keep our environment clean. We need a trash-free seas for International Coastal Cleanup Campaign.
Well, Shanna, thank you again, as always, for enlightening us. And St. Lucia, I just want to reiterate the fact that this is a call to action. So come out wherever you're located. Now you know all the regions and support. And again, everything is full circle. So it's a cycle. It affects us, whether you think so or not. So let's go out and do our part to keep our island clean and beautiful.